Serious, what are some sentences that changed your life? You have to fully feel your emotions before you can put them aside. My gym teacher. This really got me to think of how I handle my emotions. Taught me not to suppress them and made me learn how to truly get over my feelings. Don't hide or block your emotions. Feel the pain they cause you, explore it, understand it, accept it. Then release your emotions to the Force, key gone in some Star Wars fanfiction somewhere. Not the best source, but the advice was still solid. If you love someone, tell them you love them. If you hate someone, don't ever tell them that, because maybe one day you'll love them too. My grandfather, a few days before he passed. That guy you used to be? He's still there. He's in the back seat. Just don't ever let him drive again. Eddie Vedder, I believe. If you keep doing what you're doing, you'll keep getting what you're getting. Doesn't get easier, you get better. This sentence came to me as a freshman in college during finals week and helped motivate me to not lose my scholarship after a rough semester. However, since then, it has stuck with me to help me with the other challenges inherent to life. You only get one life, and on your deathbed the only thing that'll keep you company is the memories of the life you lived. I was 12 when I was sitting on a bench outside my church looking at a group of kids my age I wanted to introduce myself to. I wasn't a socially anxious person, but this was the start of my I wanna be cool phase, and I thought it would be embarrassing to introduce myself. I don't know how this logic came about. There was this old lady from my church who saw me sitting alone and asked me to help her stack the outdoor chairs. So I went over and helped. She asked me if the kids were my friends. I said no. She asked why I was staring then. I just said I don't know. Because I was embarrassed about the reason. She went quiet a moment, then said that sentence. Normally when adults would tell me advice, it would go in one out the other. But this clicked for me. This one sentence kept me up so many nights because it finally just clicked. Thank you for the silver, kind stranger. I shall cherish it. The date was fine, but the whole time we were out I was thinking that I'd rather be with you and I'd like to explore that. Would you like to go out on a date with me? Said by one of my best friends over 10 years ago. We're coming up on our 9th wedding anniversary this month. If you did that, I think I'd have to eat a bullet myself so you wouldn't have to go through it alone, said by my dad when he found out I was struggling with suicidal thoughts. Before that I didn't really think he cared about me all that much. You can't expect people to love the same way you do. My mom told me this during my first heartbreak. If you live life expecting people to show love the same way as you, you're always going to be disappointed. She also has borderline personality disorder and views love as a series of checks and balances, but I digress. People come into your life for a reason, a season, and a lifetime. A drunk club girl told me that in a parking lot of a supermarket 8 years ago, and it stuck with me. It is possible to commit no mistakes and still lose. That is not a weakness. That is life. Jean-Luc Picard, Star Trek, TNG, Season 2, Episode 21. Peak performance. Everyone's drunk on something. No matter what, who, or how it is, everyone needs that something to attach to keep moving forward. I'm sorry, but we can't find the heartbeat. Those 8 words have been in my head every day since November the 11th last year, when me and my wife went for a regular 32-week scan, so find that our son had passed away without our knowledge. We have slowly been putting our life together since, and with my wife being pregnant now, those words are still in my mind every time we go for a scan. If you can't buy it twice, you can't afford it. That was Jay-Z just giving some really simple advice for spending money on shit you don't need. Everyone dies, and eventually everyone is forgotten. So do what you want and make it worth it for you, not the people wasting their lives judging yours. Be the kind of person who doesn't need second chances. From the woman that I fucked up my only chance with. There's a fine line between consideration and hesitation. The former is wisdom, the latter is fear. It's from a goddamn video game and now it's framed on my desk at work. For me, the toughest part about work isn't doing it, it's starting. This helps me get started, and I've gotten places I never thought I would because of it. This wasn't your fault. Nothing would have changed the outcome. Backstory: my mum had passed away in 2006. I looked after her during her illness and always called the ambulance when she got bad. The night she died, I'd asked her if she wanted an ambulance or should I give her medication. She opted for medication. I carried around so much guilt for not calling the ambulance sooner, convinced that if I had, she could have been saved. 2012, I went for counseling to try and deal with it. After explaining her illness and what she died from, he told me that even if I had called sooner, she would have been immediately treated for her emphysema and not the pulmonary embolism, because they wouldn't have known that was the problem until it was too late. We did all assume she'd passed from complications due to her emphysema and only found out the real cause after the autopsy. That man telling me that one sentence helped me to stop blaming myself. Just as it would be morally wrong to enslave another human being, so too it is morally wrong to enslave yourself. My university tutor. They probably didn't make it up themselves, and I have no idea what it was in reference to, but it really struck a chord with workaholic me.